Inec rejects Jonathan's presidential nomination, insists a candidate submission must be electronic. Okay, I don't even know. PDP was saying that, they were unable to submit electronically, so they had to go and submit manually, like they had to submit paper and all of that. And they were saying that, if they don't add Jonathan to the list, blah, 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 and the things they were going to do. And now INEC is insisting that submission must be electronic. I hope that election too, voting too, is electronic. It must be electronic as well. I don't want to hear that we are going to be voting manually or be pressing hand on paper. Voting must be electronic as well, as people are insisting now that submission must be electronic. And that's what I want PDP to hold from all this whole thing. Because I don't even think Jonathan wants to contest for presidency, but at all, they said, submission must be electronic. Voting also must be electronic. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has rejected the presidential nomination of former President Goodluck Jonathan submitted by the Kabiru Suraki-led faction of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), insisting that candidates for 2021 general election can only be nominated through its designated electronic portal. The development comes after the Suraki faction claimed it had manually submitted Jonathan's nomination and the names of his governorship, National Assembly and State Assembly candidates to INEC on Friday, further highlighting the deepening leadership crisis within the opposition party. INEC's Director of Voter Education and Publicity, Victoria Eta Messi, dismissed the manual submission, stressing that the Commission's regulation do not permit nomination outside the approved online platform. Okay? The should continue like this, that's my own. Submission is only done on a dedicated portal as stipulated by regulations and guidelines, she stated. However, the function's National Publicity Secretary, Comrade Inec defended the manual submission, arguing that the committee was compelled to adopt the approach after INEC allegedly refused to provide the access codes required for electronic filling. According to Emomobong, the access codes are merely an administrative tool and not a legal prerequisite under the Electoral Act 2026. Notwithstanding INEC's refusal to provide us with the necessary access codes, we have successfully submitted manually and in full compliance with the Electoral Act 2026 the list of candidates sponsored by the Authentic People's Democratic Party, he said. He maintained that the submission, which included Jonathan's presidential nomination and candidates for other elective offices, was acknowledged by INEC despite the ongoing dispute over the party's legitimate leadership. Emomobong warned the Electoral Commission against publishing any candidate list that differs from the one submitted by his function, vowing to challenge such actions through every available constitutional and legal means. Should the Commission publish names other than those lawfully submitted by us, we are exhausting every constitutional, legal and democratic avenue to ensure that our party is not hijacked or annexed to the ruling party, he declared. Explaining the origins of the crisis, Emomobong said the PDP's Board of Trustees and a requisitioned National Executive Committee NEC meeting constituted an interim National Working Committee after a Supreme Court ruling allegedly left the party without a legally recognized national leadership. He claimed INEC ignored formal notification recognizing the interim leadership, forcing the party to seek judicial intervention. The PDP spokesman also criticized a subsequent Federal High Court judgment, arguing that it attempted to revisit issues already settled by the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal. The judgment reads more like an appeal on the judgment of the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal. It is clearly inconsistent with the extant decision of the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal that forms the foundation of our case, he said. It disclosed that the function had already appealed the ruling and would also challenge what it described as discrepancies between the judgment delivered in court and its certified true copy. Emomobong further accused INEC of abandoning its constitutional responsibility as an impartial electoral umpire. Well, they are very, very partial. INEC, this one now, they are very, very partial, alleging that the Commission withheld critical facts during court proceedings and ignored congresses it had previously monitored. According to him, the crisis within the PDP reflects a broader effort to weaken opposition parties and pave the way for one-party dominance in Nigeria. We were the pioneer target for opposition dismantling and capture, but it has not spread to almost all the opposition parties, he said. He called on Nigerians to defend the country's multi-party democracy, warning that continued interference in opposition politics could undermine democratic consolidation, while expressing confidence that his faction would eventually prevail through the courts. Seriously, at this level, Jonathan should not allow people looking for power through the back door to spoil his good reputation built over the years. Good name is better than riches. Jonathan himself has not even come outside to say anything or that he wants to contest. But yet, PDP is saying that Jonathan is your presidential candidate. How? And he's not even coming out to debunk it because probably he has told them and they keep insisting. So it just was it's like he's just ignoring them or something, because I don't even understand. Musa says Jonathan never said anything about contesting the 2027 presidential race. Exactly. So I don't even know. The plans is there working out. Trust me, Inec will eventually clear Jonathan to run. Very fine script. Which scripts they write? They're just wasting their time. Mbawada says seriously, it's a shame on the person of Jonathan. He has the ambition, but he was afraid of being disgraced. He has the opportunity to save his face, but he chose to go through the back window to grasp power. I beg, Jonathan is not contesting for anything. I don't think so. Carly says, let somebody tell former President Goodluck Jonathan to stop ridiculing himself politically. The loss of gold is much, the loss of time is more, but the loss of honor is such a loss that no man can restore. He is drastically losing his social, political, and international value by mysteriously allowing himself to be dragged to contest the 2027 election. When he loses, it will be worth nothing else. His honor will diminish completely. Nefedi says, how do you mention the name of the Messi in Nigerian politics? Who is the Messi in Nigerian politics? Elite Babin Salon says, Jonathan has to be the most ungrateful human in the history of Africa because God has favored him beyond reasonable doubts. Right from a vice local government chairman to the presidency, no one else in Africa, if there is correct me, Dr. Jonathan will be a disgrace to mankind by messing himself around of chasing power means power hunger who have to push him to this mess. I don't think Jonathan is actually involved in this whole thing. I don't think so. Absolutely says fear of the unknown and yama tactics. Marty says candidate nomination must be electronic. Presidential votes in ballot paper. What an irony. As I'm saying that they've insisted that it should be electronic. Voting should also be electronic. It's as simple as that. My listeners, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.